Hey YouTube, John, JDS Outdoors. Just want to take a few minutes, do a little pictorial, and show you what I'm going to turn this pile of metal into. I'm sure you can tell by the thumbnail, but here we go. First, I took the 6x6s, cut them, laid them out. Then I started to form the front. Cutting out this little section right here and bending it up, welding it together to make the skis. After cutting the floor supports and welding it all together, I went ahead and mounted some HDPE or high density polyethylene to the bottom as a protective wear layer. Here's another view of the other side, so I could weld it together and flatten it out just like this. Now starts the framing. Started off by putting the corners in and then doing more studs from there on out, framing in the windows and the door. Took a picture of this joint because it impressed the heck out of me. There's 5 different pieces of metal there joined into one spot. The roof is so strong, it'll actually support my entire weight. Here we have the floor installed and the sheeting starting to go up. One window installed already. It turned out pretty nice. After the windows and sheeting were installed, I did some tread bright along the bottom. That blue stuff you're seeing is just protective sheeting over it to keep it from being scratched. After peeling it off, it looks something like that. Here we have the wiring going in, just showing how I did that. Everything all tucked away in that groove. Every time it passed through a stud, it went through some plastic pipe and also more protective covering. Keep any sharp edges from cutting the wires. Here we have it all spray foamed up and gonna go ahead and start connecting the wiring together. Now I got all the 110 hooked up so you can see the lights working inside. Little snapshot of the power station. Installed some switches and some cedar bump boards for mounting things to. And testing out the lights. Here we have the windows tinted. Added some privacy and help keep thieves out. Making the cabinetry was quite fun in here. Oh, got the furnace installed. Propane tank sits right on that ski. Another angle of that. After we got the carpet installed, I went ahead and finished up the cabinets, got them permanently installed. And this thing has 5 hole covers in it. Here we have the dinette that turns into a bunk as well. Welding up the hitch at 2 o'clock in the morning turned out pretty cool as also. And the can't forget Ice Hole Power glow cups. They are awesome. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a walkthrough and show how everything works. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments on how this thing turned out from a pile of metal to what you see now.
What's up, everybody? Here we have a 2020 6.5 by 10 with a 2-foot V aluminum skid shack. I'm going to show off some of the outside features before we go inside. We'll start with the back of the shack here. You can notice that window and this window are both tinted. The one on the back side's tinted as well. Helps give a little extra privacy. Here in the corner we have the propane holder. So your 20-pound tank slides right in. You'll also notice there's a little door right here. Pop that open, your propane hose pops out. You can go ahead and open that up, get the length you need, plug it right into your tank. It's also plenty long enough if you want to have a 100-pounder or something sit next to it. You can do that as well. Stows away nice. That way, keeps the critters and stuff out in the summertime and also keeps the hose out of the elements when you're not using it. On every corner we have DOT style reflective tape. Helps keep you notice. On the back here we have tie down / tow hooks. So there's a hitch on the front, we'll get to that when we get up there. Back here, we just have a spot you can hook a tow strap to if you need to pull it backwards, or good tie down points so when you have it on your trailer, you can tie it down. Here is your furnace intake and exhaust. It's got a forced air 16,000 BTU furnace inside, controlled by a thermostat, and I'll show you that when we get inside. Coming to the front of the shack, you got your normal ice house door. There's a light. Out here, there's also a clear lens that comes with this, so you can have either the amber or the clear. You can control it by a switch inside, and as long as that switch is on, you can also control it out here also. I'll demonstrate that quick. You can see it's on. You can turn it on and off outside as well. That'll help aid in loading up and whatnot in the dark. Coming to the front of the shack, we also have more tie-down straps, or if you want to just hook a tow strap to it quickly to move it real fast, you can as well if you don't have the hitch installed. We have a very heavy-duty hitch that hooks up with a 2-inch coupler, so it just goes right on your normal 2-inch ball onto your ATV or your side-by-side. It's got nice pins with a chain that hooks up to the clevis. That way nothing gets lost. It stores right inside the bracket on the front of the shack. Up on the roof we have a 100-watt solar panel and an antenna for the radio inside. So that way if you have decent sun, you can keep your battery charged up. But if you don't have decent sun, there's a generator plug located right here, waterproof connection. You just plug it right in, and you're charging your battery, and you're also supplying the 110 outlets with power inside. Here's your battery vent. It vents the whole battery compartment. That pretty much does it for the outside of the shack. Let's go inside and show you what's in there. So the door has a safety chain on it, so if the wind catches it, it won't smash into the side of your shack. Located right around the corner here, there's your light switches. This switch controls the inside lights, and this is for that outside light that I showed you earlier. Right there we have the thermostat, which controls the Suburban 16,000 BTU furnace. Over here in this corner we kind of have the magic power station. You got your radio, that antenna up on the roof. Show you that real quick. So you can have some tunes while you're fishing.
Find yours at buyatoyota.com.
Bluetooth also. Makes longer trips when you're not catching anything a little bit more enjoyable. Underneath here, this latch is a little tight and it works perfect. If you have any little kids with, they can't come in here and mess around getting that open to get into your electronics. So inside this cabinet, we have a battery. Now the battery does not come with, it's just in here for demonstration purposes. This is your generator plug breaker. It's got a 15 amp breaker, so when it's off, it kills all the power to the 110. When it's on, obviously all your 110 is hooked up. When your generator's plugged in, you got a 110 outlet down here. It's hooked up to a battery charger, keeps your battery topped off. Right up here, you have your solar charge controller. It helps to maintain the charge rate of your battery, doesn't overcharge it and damage it. Here you have your 12 volt fuse block with fuses, and everything's color coordinated as well. So if you ever have an issue, you can see which color's messed up, and then up here there's a list which color goes to what item. And also if you blow a fuse, that lights up to show you which fuse is blown. That's pretty much it for the electronics under there. Go ahead and shut this. And up top we have a little power station. You got a dual USB for charging your cell phones. And also if you have an inverter, this little inverter comes with, so you can have 110 power even without your generator hooked up. You just plug it in there, flip the switch, and you always have 110 power. Keep an eye on the charge rate of your battery. There's a voltage meter here as well. Come to the back of the shack. Located inside this bench is your furnace. You can go ahead and open it up, do any servicing that you need to. And if you need to service more, it's held in with 4 screws. You can go ahead and pop those out and do any servicing that you need to. Got another 110 plug right here, so if you have anything set up on the table and you have a generator hooked up, you can go ahead and power it. Located on both sides, more dual USBs for charging your cell phone. This dinette also folds down into a bed. So if you have a long night fishing, you can go ahead and fold it down into a bed, throw your air mattress, cot, whatever you like, right on there. Pretty sturdy. Don't have any issues with that flexing. Underneath here, there's more storage and your excess propane hose. And you can see down there, there's a regulator. So you can keep an eye on that in case it ever starts freezing up. Which inside here, you can heat this thing with a candle damn near. You shouldn't have any problems with freezing. This furnace is complete overkill, but it's extremely efficient and it'll work perfect for keeping this heated up. Down there's your CO2 detector. We have 5 holes in the floor, just your normal catch covers. Easy in, easy out. Located on the wall here, we got an awesome thing by Ice Hole Power. You flip the switch, it's a glow cup for charging your glow jigs. When you're not using it, you just flip the switch, turns it off. We got one located here next to the door, one located over here on the wall next to those outlets as well. If you want to add hole lights, you got some extra wire right here. That's on the same circuit as your glow cups, so if you want to add a hole light, you can go ahead and hook one up right there to light up your holes as well. And up to the front of the shack, up in the corner up here, we have a fan. Keep that air moving. If it gets too warm, you can also pop a window as well. And this fan also oscillates for even more air movement. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I forgot one more thing. LED lights in the ceiling. You can control them individually and also by the switch. So, yeah, there's my 6.5 by 10 foot, 2 foot V fish shack. The overall outside dimensions on this is 81 inches wide and about 14 feet long. So if you have a 14-foot snowmobile trailer, you'll have no problems putting this on there. And with the way the propane tank carrier is on the back, it doesn't make it any wider. It keeps it all behind the shack. So, any questions? Feel free to ask. As always, thanks for watching JDS Outdoors.